Welcome, everybody. It's your boy, the Versace Stunner, with another episode of VSW. Thank you, everybody. What an episode we have for you tonight. What a night for wrestling it was last night. The return of NCW. Behind Closed Doors, episode 1. We got some questions. We got some answers. We got a whole lot of great wrestling and some great matches to cover for you tonight about that. So let's get down to business. I'm so excited for NCW's return. Let's just start there. Great promotion. You know, they had the 2020 season opener. And it was a really good event. But then the world shut down. And we haven't been able to see NCW wrestling until now. And what a year it's been. But I can say that it's well worth it for what we got to see last night. The wait. But like I said, let's get down to business. Starting things off first, was what ended the season opener. Vern Vicala versus the Natural Channing Thomas. Vern is the NCW heavyweight champion. Tremendous wrestling athlete. Channing Thomas, though, really making a name for himself. And another tremendous wrestler. He might not be your favorite wrestler, but you have to respect him. He is great in the game, and he's got one of the greatest smiles in professional wrestling. I mean, that's facts. Okay? This match started off pretty easy for Vern dominating. I feel like he dominated most of that match in the beginning. Really taking control of it, really showing, I'm the champion. This is my ring. This is my match. Channing and I, they were talking about how he trained a little bit out in Europe, and I could kind of see that, he looked a little bit better than his previous run-in with Vern. But eventually, Channing would, be able to make a little bit of a comeback, and he started to dominate himself. And this is where it kind of went back and forth for a little bit in this match. And that's what's going to happen when you have two tremendous wrestlers. They're going to go back and forth. They're kind of even here, in my opinion. Vern, he hits the teardrop suplex. He goes for the big running corner bulldog. And then he went for the NSFW. But Channing was able to reverse that. And with that reversal, he landed this great, I want to say a perfect pile driver. Okay, and he had this match in the bag. It was over. Vern was out cold. And what has to happen? The fire alarm fucking goes off again. Again. That's how it ended the last match. This is how it ended this match. We need to get to the bottom of this NCW. We need to figure out what the hell is going on with that fire alarm. Why these two want to see a conclusion to this match. Hopefully we do at a future date. I feel like this feud is far from over. Maybe it happens at the virtual reunion. Maybe it happens before that. I don't know. We'll go into the little bit of the details of their virtual reunion a little bit later. But yeah, what a matchup between these two. They really gave it their all. It was a great opening match for this season. And it really just showcased what NCW is about and what it has to offer. Very impressive opening match. Like I said, kind of a crazy finish again. But that's what you have to expect with these two, I guess. That's becoming the new norm. Fire alarms and all sorts of other things. Now, I was mentioning the virtual reunion for NCW, and that is going to be Friday, April 23rd at 7:30, live on pay-per-view. Virtual tickets are being sold for $12. I guess just check on, social media pages on the NCW, on their Twitter, on their Facebook. and just keep up to date on when these things are going to be available, how to get them, what to do with them, all of that fun. This is a not missed show. Definitely want to be watching this one. So, keep your eye out on information for their reunion show. We saw these, we got to see a little bit of Channing and Vern outside too tonight after their match, and everybody was outside, cleared out the arena, and Channing, he wants to fight. He's not done with Vern. He knew he won that match, and, Vern had some tough words for him. And I think, like I said, we're going to see another match between these two. It's far from over. Just don't know when. Speaking of things that are far from over, the next matchup, Ike versus Alexander Lee. The winner moving on to a triple threat match. And then the winner of that getting a title shot against the New England champion, which could still be Dick Lane. A very great matchup. I don't know how to put it, but they're just two very aggressive stars in the NCW. They will go to any lengths to win that match and to put pain on their opponent. With that, it was very surprising to see, a Dallas McCarthy showing up very early on in the match. As you know, Ike and Dallas, they split parts in the end of the season. Or the beginning of the season, whatever you want to call last episode. First episode, last episode, 2020 season of NCW, we saw them break up. Okay? Now he comes back, and now he's, kind of chanting on Alexander Lee, who really doesn't need his help. He does not need anybody in his corner. Lee is a solo man. He doesn't need this shit. He took control early on in the match against Ike. Really dominating, really just hitting him with everything he has. But Dallas continuing to show support for Alexander Lee, and I think it was just starting to annoy him and starting to kind of frustrate him, and he was getting distracted out there. Giving Ike, the ability to come back. He landed a beautiful cross body from the top. And this, this, I think, was a little bit of a turning point for Ike. As he went for the pin, sure enough, Dallas comes back and puts Lee on the rope, saving Lee. This, I don't know what Lee's plan is. I don't know what Dallas's plan is here. What he's trying to accomplish. But Lee is not having. Lee does not want nothing to do with Dallas's help. I can tell you that much. Ike then started to go after Dallas himself, which was kind of weird. As he was just becoming a nuisance. And when this happened, Lee was able to capitalize on Ike. And basically everybody just got very, very distracted. For 1 minute. And, that's all it takes in the wrestling world is distraction. Dallas distracted Lee, and Ike was very quick to snatch the pin. And, Ike is moving on to the triple threat. I think that's a big upset victory over Alexander Lee. I can tell you one thing. Lee is going to kill Dallas. As soon as he gets a hold of him. As soon as he gets a hold of Dallas McCarthy, he is gone. R.I.P. to him. Like I said, though, this was a very upset victory, I think. Ike, congratulations. You're well-deserved. You're a great wrestler. But, Alexander Lee had that match. And if it really wasn't for, Dallas and all the shenanigans, it would have been Alexander Lee moving on to that triple threat. It'll be Alexander Lee probably winning that triple threat to move on to face the New England champion. This was a great match, though. Very excited to see. I was kind of, wondering what that storyline would have been like, as we saw them, part on last season. And now it's, it's kind of playing out, which I like long-term storytelling. And this is kind of what it is, considering we didn't have a year of wrestling. We also, speaking of, storylines and all of that and continuations, we got to see a segment of, Kevin Castro apologizing to Lumberjack for all the shit that he has given him over the last 2 years. All the shenanigans and tricks and attacks and everything. And Lumberjack don't give a fuck. He is not accepting any apology. He will destroy, his whole little stable that Castro has had. You got Heavy Hitter and whoever else, Shea, Cash, all these guys, he surrounds himself with. Lumberjack is just going to plow through them. He's not accepting no apologies. He doesn't trust Castro. Who can? That's how that's going to go. I don't know if they'll have matches set up or if it's just going to be, Lumberjack taking them out one by one, which he could. And that would be exciting to see. Lumberjack in a match is always exciting to see. He's a powerhouse. He brings the thunder. Love to watch the man wrestle. And I just want to let you know, NCWOnline.com has tons of merch for sale. They have tons of t-shirts, different things, different shirts from other shows and logo shirts and, all sorts of fun shirts if you're a shirt man. I love wrestling shirts. I love indie wrestling shirts even more, so every time I can find them, I buy them. I suggest checking them out, what they have, for sale, see what they got. Pick yourself up something, NCW, Pick yourself up a shirt, represent it, show some support. It's been a long year for everybody, and every little bit helps. And plus you get a cool shirt out of the deal. What's there not to like? Come on. But yeah, check them out, like I said, NCWOnline.com or on their Facebook at NCW Wrestling. Check it out. The next matchup we had was one of my favorites. Got to see Big Juicy entering in the NCW versus Armani Chaos representing High Society, with Paris Vandal. This was phenomenal. Armani, first of all, let me just say you looked fabulous like always coming out there and starting your stuff. But Big Juicy, you got the crowd over. They loved you. I could hear the chants. I could see the ovations. You were doing, you just had to show up. They loved you. Unfortunately, not everybody did. Armani was not appreciative of the gift, and it looks like that ticked off Big Juicy because she went right to work on Armani right from the beginning. With some big, powerful, cool moves because, she is cool. And really just, taking them apart. This would go on for a little bit until maybe Armani, he started to mount a little comeback and hit this beautiful Bronco Buster. But, it's not him by himself. Paris is out there. She's distracting. She's hitting Juicy. She's doing things. It's not just a one-on-one match. It's a two-on-one match. So you got to think about that when you watch these things that, a lot of people forget about how important a manager is in wrestling. Let's just start there. A lot of TV wrestling that you see today, there's very little managers, and if there are, they only represent one person. Well, that's not how it used to be. There used to be managers that represented multiple guys in the show, or they even had a stable, whatever it is. But these managers were part of it. They would help you win. They would help you outside. They would distract the ref if you were in trouble. They would, distract tag team people if you guys needed to work on your opponent in your corner. They were there to work for you. And this is exactly what Paris does. She's a great manager. She made sure Armani was always on top. Not to say that Armani's not a great wrestler. He is. He's unbelievable. He had this perfect split leg drop. I've never seen something like it. Never ever seen something like it. That done that perfect. But Juicy giving it all. She came back for a while, and a big Juicy bomb, which Armani kicked out of. But, and this is what happened. With her in the corner, Big Juicy got hit with the mirror by Paris, and I think that just stunned her. That knocked her down. She was kind of like really in a daze, giving Armani Chaos, the upper hand, and he was able to hit this kind of a suplex DDT combination, taking Big Juicy out and taking the victory. And it was a highest society celebration party. What a matchup, though. Great to see Big Juicy in the NCW. Big things coming out of her. She's one of my favorite talents out there right now. Really just killing the business. All of them are. Same thing with the highest society. Anywhere you guys watch these guys, they're killing it. And right now they're doing it at NCW. Which will move us on to our main event of the evening. Mike Montero, the Ace, versus Dick Lane, the New England champion. And something unfolded. Detox looks like they got a hold of Dick Lane before the match and gave him a little tune-up. And he was unable to come to this match. He was not able to make it to the ring. We had a very interesting stipulation. If Dick Lane did not come to the ring by the count of 10, he would not only lose the match, but forfeit the title to Mike Montero. And this almost happened. Until someone would step up. And that someone would be Ryan Kellen Thomas. He, came out. He represented Dick Lane. He said, I will wrestle you, Mike. I will defend this title for Dick. And that's exactly what he did. Thomas getting the upper hand at first, really, as they were trying to feel each other out. They spent a little time doing this. But within a few minutes or so, Kellen was in full control and dominating for a while. Kellen Thomas is a great wrestler. I think he's very underrated in New England. I think this is a great place to showcase him. And I think, if the more people get to see him, the more they're going to realize this guy's a star. Anyways, he was very impressive star of the matchup. And, Mike is very impressive too. He was able to turn the momentum for himself with a huge super kick. And then, he tried to go to the top. And again, though, Ryan would catch him and hit him with a great German suplex. And, Riot was back in the match again. It was going back and forth, back and forth. He hit the Utamagi in a moonsault, and Montero was able to kick out of that. And this battle would just go on and on and on and on and on. It started to go out and make its way to the outside and onto the ring apron, Montero doing his thing out there, causing destruction. A beautiful double beautiful double kick would really cause some damage to Kellen Thomas. But it wouldn't be enough to stop him. Then Montero was able to hit the Meteora, but Kellen kicked out of that. So both of them had basically kicked out of each other's finishes. And, this is where it shows you these guys are determined. These guys are here. One wants to win the title very badly. One wants to preserve the title very badly. He has honor. Like he said early on, the title is about honor, respect, and dignity, and that's what he wants to give it, and that's what it deserves. That's why he came out to defend it. So like I said, Kellen Thomas giving him his all. And finally, Kellen hit him with the shoulder breaker, landed him in the Anaconda Vice, and got Mike to tap. I was shocked. My mouth dropped. I don't think I've ever seen Montero tap in NCW. He's usually very dominating. You know, he had a great reign as the New England champion, you know, over a year. Great reign. To see him tap was just, like I said, it was a humbling experience, I think. Maybe even for him, too. You know, Kellen, though, won, and he won the belt for Dick Lane. Dick Lane retains the title. Kellen might have got the victory, but the title goes back to Dick Lane, and he is still the champion. Now, where's that leave Kellen? Is he next in line for a title shot, or is he just doing things out of good faith? Who knows? You know, we have to watch the next episodes and see where this all goes. I'm sure things aren't over with Montero. I think Montero still wants to face Dick Lane one-on-one. And you got to remember, Dick Lane beat him while Montero was wearing a straitjacket. You know, it wasn't really the fairest fight. It wasn't, you know, a one-on-one normal match. So that rematch should happen. You know, he had Detox, you know, try to end Dick Lane. No, that was a mistake on Montero's part. He miscalculated the love for Dick Lane. Because people will step up. He has friends in the wrestling world. Now, Detox might be Montero's friends, but like I said, Dick Lane has other friends, and people will step up for him. The fans are behind him. Everybody's behind him. The commentator was behind him. You know, as soon as the match ended, Steve the Turtle ran to make sure he was okay. You know, that's friendship. That's love. So, it's going to be an interesting battle if these two collide again. And when it will happen, I don't know. But I wouldn't mind seeing it. You know, I wouldn't mind seeing Dick Lane versus Mike Montero one-on-one, straight-up match. You know, maybe even ban everybody from ringside. Let's just keep it a one-on-one, fair as fair can be, straight fight. But this was a tremendous episode of NCW Behind Closed Doors. You know, their first episode, and that's how you do it if you want to do something right. Blow it out the park. And, you know, I can't wait to see what's in store next week. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Check it out on YouTube. You can still watch the episode. You know, go to the NCW YouTube, hit the subscribe button, watch Behind Closed Doors, hit the like button, share it with your friends, share it with your family, share it with your workers, share it with everybody. Let everybody watch it and enjoy NCW wrestling. And I thank you, everybody, for listening. Versace Stoner out.